everybody, I am Liz, and today I decided to do an oldie but a goodie video called a book haul because I have gained a lot of books over the past couple months, especially since I've been MIA, so I wanted to show them to you. I'm going to start off with 6 books that have been gifted to me in the past months, to show credit where credit is due because people are awesome. So the first book that has been gifted to me was Beartown by Frederick Bachman. This was given to me by Sassy Cassie, or Cassie, from winning the final Bibliothon. She gifted it to me due to my video of shit divination enthusiasts say. It's a really popular video. I had really fun pretending to be Professor Trelawney, saying all of her quotes in the Harry Potter series. Beartown is a story of this really small town surrounded by a forest, and there really nothing good about the town. There's nothing really astonishing about it except this hockey team. They're going places until a girl gets assaulted, and some players on the hockey team are implemented in the said assault, and it kind of tears this town apart with the he said, she said battle, and people choose sides. The next book that was gifted to me is Becoming by Michelle Obama. I was given this by Marisa from her bookshelf. It's an Instagram account. She is fantastic. She is this feminist, aspiring law school student in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I love her posts, and I won this book in a giveaway she hosted, and I'm super excited to read about Michelle Obama's life. The last 4 books that have been gifted to me, these were given to me by Rececca from Rebecca's Reading Rambles, another Instagram account. I was given these for the low price of shipping, so I scored 4 books for $8, which is super freaking exciting. First up, we have the Caraval series. I really want to read this book series. I know it's kind of polarizing. People either like it or don't like it, and I'm really excited to see my take on the series and see if I like it. This book series starts off with 2 sisters, Scarlett and Tella, who've been told that Caraval is the place to be. It's a place of magic, wonder, and mystery. So they go to Caraval and see what it's all about when Tella is taken. She's kidnapped, and now Scarlett has to go and look for her and find her before the 5 nights of Caraval are over. And the other book I got from Rebecca was Furyborne by Claire Legrand. I've heard some really amazing things about this book series and the story, and I'm really excited to dive into it. It's about 2 girls specifically. There's Riel, who's in the past, and she has just discovered that she has magic, which means she can become the queen of the empire, and it's her journey into that. And then fast forward 1,000 years later when Riel's become a queen and become a legend. And then another character, Eliana, is taken up the mantle to try to save her kingdom from ruin, because after Queen Riel's reign, her kingdom and empire was completely overthrown, and it's up to her to bring it back to that legendary, awesome status that was 1,000 years previous. The next books have all been purchases from either Amazon or Barnes & Noble, and so I'm going to start with my Amazon purchases and just relish in the beauty of these stories. The next story I have for you is Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim. This book has been raved about so many times everywhere. It sounds like a mashup of Rumpelstiltskin and Mulan, as our main character, Maya, has always wanted to become a tailor, but in the society, the only thing she can really hope for is to marry well. But when her father is summoned to start in this clothing making competition at the palace, she goes in his stead as he's ailing and frail and pretends to be a guy to sew these masterpieces of clothing and fabric, and it's a really cutthroat competition, and I just want to read it so bad. Then we have The Kingdom by Jess Rothenberg. I have talked about this previously as I have already read it, and oh, it was so good. It is a fantastical story about what if we had a fantasy land like Disneyland theme park, but the characters are androids. And what happens when an android who is supposed to have no free will and be completely controlled by her programming ends up killing a worker, an employee of the kingdom, the theme park, and a trial ensues, and it's really a great discussion on humanity. Then I have The Tunnel of Bones by Victoria Schwab. This is the sequel in the Cassidy Blake series, where Cassidy, or Cass, can see ghosts. And in the first book, she goes to Edinburgh and sees how her powers have morphed into these changing things as she tries to fight bad things and bring back peace into the haunted Edinburgh Castle in town. Now this one takes place in Paris. They're going to the catacombs. Obviously things are going to happen, and I can't wait to see what other things the Cassidy Blake finds out about her powers and what mysteries and monsters and villains come across in this book. Then I obtained Saved by the Page, Volume 1. It is a collection of short stories of people who have been saved by reading books. And I really can't wait to read some of these stories, because books have the power to change us, they have the power to save us, and they have just the power to help us in times that are dark. The next book I have is an obvious book because it only ever comes out in October. And it's Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire Illustrated Edition. This is a chunky, honking, fantastic illustrated book. Illustrations by Jim Kay, and it's stunning. Now that I've finished all the books I've gotten from Amazon, we're going to talk about books I got from Barnes & Noble. Starting off with Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. And this has some illustrations by Chris Riddell. I saw this copy and I could not pass up the opportunity of purchasing it. I just really wanted a copy of Neverwhere because I enjoyed the story so much, and now I can look at it and look at the illustrations and just really reminisce and maybe even reread the story. Then I had Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. This is a witchy, spooky book of an unsolved mass murder and our main character Alex getting a full ride scholarship to a prestigious university, Yale in New Haven, and she finds out a lot of things of secret societies and the occults and witches, and I hear it's great. But can I tell you about the snake on this cover? Like, it is everywhere. The same snake pops up in so many book covers this year, and now it's getting a little cliche, don't you think? My next Barnes & Noble purchase, which is a book that you saw in a previous video of mine, and a lot of people have been so stunned, just like myself, and that is Dune by Frank Herbert. This is such a beautiful, beautiful new edition of Dune. It has sprayed edges. It has like beautiful artwork, and the previous like inside dust jacket has some art. I've never actually read Dune, but I have played the video game and watched the movie, and I love the story, and so I can't wait to actually read the story and really just immerse myself in one of the greatest sci-fi adventures of really all time. The last book I have purchased in the last few months since being MIA has been Douglas Adams' The Ultimate Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and it's all 5 Hitchhikers novels in one tome. I love this like witty Barnes & Noble classic edition, and it's all leather bound with silvery sprayed edges. I've always wanted to read this story, especially because I did enjoy the movie so much that I can't wait to dive into this galactic journey. So there we have it. I have purchased quite a number of books in the past few months. I don't know why I do this to myself because I never have enough time to read them, but I can't wait to eventually get to them. Please let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of these books and what you think of them, and have you gotten some new books within the past few months, this month even? What books have you been purchasing and reading, and are you enjoying them? Please let me know in the comments down below. Let's start up a conversation. And as always, we have our daily check-in. How are you doing today? Has anything new happened in your life? Let's talk about it down below. Today has been a tiring day for me, but I am gonna go and see my nephew and go and hang out. Until next time, remember that I love you guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye!